How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Gundam card game video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today we are going over my top 15 most wanted cards for the Gundam card game set to Dual Impact. I was thinking about a couple ways of doing this. This is something that I do for other card games that I cover, and now that we have the set 2 for the Gundam card game, I was wondering if I wanted to do like a top 5, top 10, or top 15, and how I wanted to do it. These are my top 15 personal most wanted cards. They're some of the best cards in the set, or at least that I think they're the best cards in the set, and also just some stuff that I really want. What we're not including here are alt arts. So no alt arts or anything like that. I did a whole video talking about the alt arts, so if you'd like my opinion on which alt arts I want, go check that video out. Needless to say, most of them look awesome, and there's some obvious ones that I really want, but anyway, so yeah, I think that's enough of that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our overlay. We have a little bit of a word from a sponsor, and then we're going to jump right into the cards. The sponsor's me! Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I just wanted to shout out the Red Zone Rogue merch store. It's just literally redzonerogue.com. We have a bunch of stuff on the merch store, everything from our extra Red Zone Rogue tokens that kind of overflow from the Patreon. We don't make them specifically for the merch store, but if I have extras from the Patreon, they go up on the merch store. Just a cool way to get something if you'd like to support me. We also have playmats, sleeves. We have this really super cute enamel pin as well. I think I priced it quite reasonably when you compare it to a lot of other enamel pin stuff. And yeah, we do have some things that are sold out, like our Katsumi Mech Pilot playmat, but I do plan on restocking them by the end of the year. We have some that are still in stock, like our Codename Villain playmat, but we only have four left. But once again, I don't believe in FOMO or anything like that, so I do plan on reprinting these, as well as stuff that people ask for all the time. Sleeves, I will be reprinting the Codename Villain and the Katsumi Mech Pilot sleeves as well, so keep all that in mind. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about our first card. Now, these are in no particular order, with the exception of the last 4 cards. Now, if you've been watching a lot of my coverage of the Gundam card game, you can probably guess what my last 4 cards are. They're pretty obvious if you know me and you know the kind of things I like in card games and the Gundam card game. But we'll kick it off with a banger here, and that is the Gundam Epion. This card is awesome. I think it's going to be one of the most wanted cards just out of the entire set in general. It's a fan favorite, one of the coolest mobile suits in the entire Gundam franchise, and for good reason. It's just awesome. I think this card will see play. I'm personally playing it in my blue-white blockers deck that I already did I kind of did a quick overview of it, my first rough draft of it in our 6 deck tech video for set 2, but yeah, it's awesome. It's a 8 drop, so it's kind of, well, a level 8/7 drop. It's kind of a big chungus, but it's very cool. And I think it's a pretty good top-end finisher. It gives you a lot of value, and if you're playing this in a ramp deck where you're spending a lot of resources ramping into this guy, then you can actually get them back with Zex Marquise, who lets you draw cards whenever he destroys a unit, and you can attack twice with the Epion, so you can, in theory, draw 2 cards. So, pretty solid. Love this card. The art is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite Gundam card game artists by Rararu. Or was it Raruru? Raruru. They're fantastic. Go follow them on social media. They have awesome artwork. I've been thinking of him like the Raymond Swanland of mech art. If you know what that means, then yeah, you probably have good taste in magic art. All right, next up, we have Turning Point of History. This is one of my favorite, well, I mean, all these cards are my favorite cards of the set, but I really like this one, and I like these kind of effects, and I want to see more of this kind of stuff in the Gundam card game, especially in colors like green, where you don't have a lot of, inherent draw power. I'd like to see something like this in red, too. It's a level 1 cost. Main, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can put 1 on the top, and then return the rest on the bottom of the deck, and then if you have a new type, you draw a card. It's a little bit of a, I don't want to say a corner case mechanic, but there's a lot of new types in the Gundam card game. There's a lot of really good new types in the Gundam card game. Obviously, we have Char, but you have stuff like Amuro Ray, we have Camille. Like, there's a lot of solid new types in the Gundam card game, so I think this is going to see a lot more play than you might think. And I think it's just a really, really nice one. What I love about this card, it's a level 1 cost. You could technically play this on your first turn, but it's not really good until like turn 3 or 4 when you can actually get a new type out there. But when you can, I think it's really, really good and excellent. And also it's one of the cards that lets you sort of stack the top of your deck. So if we ever have mechanics that care about the top of the deck, this could be a good card for that too. But yeah, I love this card and I love the design space and I want to see them do more of it. And that's why it's one of my most wanted cards. And I'm putting this in most of my green decks, so there's that. Next up, we have the Taurus. So as you saw with the previous card, we have the Taurus. This is not an LR, and I wanted to include cards here that aren't LRs. I could just make the list of all, like, here's all the LRs, but I don't think that's very fun or interesting. And I think this card, I don't know, I really like it. I really like this card. I find myself putting this on a lot of my blue decks these days because it's just what I call a board bully. It's a level 2 cost 3/3. It can't attack the enemy player, but it can attack units, and it's one of the most efficient units, like attackers in the game, right? It slightly ekes out more over the level 2 1 cost 2/3s with the same effect, because this one's a 3/3 and it kills those. This is like the ultimate early game board bully. It smashes all the 2/2s, you know, all the gems and all that kind of stuff. It smashes the 2/3s. It kind of trades for Zawart. It's just really, really efficient. It can kind of excel if you're running this in a deck where you can give this plus AP. Like if you're running this with a Vasali or something like that, give it a +1 AP and smash their Lifrith and survive. Like I really like this card. You don't play this in aggro decks, obviously, but in mid-range and control decks, I think it's exceptionally good. I think it might be one of the most underrated cards in the set, and I find myself putting this in almost all of my blue decks, except for, you know, like your aggro version. So yeah, we have the Taurus, which is a common. Next up, we have the Gundam Versago. I really like this card because it is non-parasitic in that you could put this in any red deck and have it be pretty good. It's a level 5 4 cost 4/4, decent stats. It has Breach 1, it just has it, which is great. And then on deploy, if there are 3 or less enemy shields, you choose an enemy unit with 5 or less AP and deal 2 damage to it. So this is just a really solid card. It has Breach. It's a 4/4, survives through a lot of stuff. And also, you can just blast something for 2 if you are, you know, your opponent has 3 or less shields. I think this is really good in either a new UNE deck where you can use Synergy and you can play Shaggy Frost, or I think it's really good in just a super, super aggressive red shell deck, like a deck that has red in it, because this could be like one of your top end cards. You play this when your opponent has a lot of damage on them, and then you can like start blasting some of their stuff. The fact that it's AP, like 5 or less AP, means you can shoot some really like high health targets and kind of maybe get to that point where you can destroy them. I really like this card. I think it'll be great to have in like my red toolbox. Red's my favorite color in this game. Obviously the guy named Red Zone Rogue likes the red cards, of course, but genuinely I think it's really sweet. Next up, we have the Gundam Barbatos First Form. I think it's also kind of underrated, which is crazy. I thought this was a slam dunk out of the gates, but I've seen comments on my own videos and some other people talk how they don't think this is very good. But I think it's quite good for a level 3 card. I think some people see that this is an LR and they're like, they treat it like it's a level 6 or a level 7 or something like that. No, dude, it's a level 3. It's a freaking level 3 card. It's a 2 cost. Consider all the other level 3 2 cost cards in the game right now. What do you get? You get like a 3/3 with no effect and a link, or you get like a 3/2 with a minor effect. This one's a 3/2 with a really good effect. So it's a 3/2, and on attack, if it's damaged, you draw a card. It also links with Mikazuki, and it's a Tekken and Gundam frame. Now, you can play this in the purple deck, where you just deal damage to itself, and then you could attack and draw a card. You can do that with Mikazuki himself, but you can also do it with other stuff too. There's a bunch of other cards in the deck where you can just deal damage to this, and then attack, and then draw a card. And if you do that, even without linking, dude, that is such good value. I feel like you're really far ahead if you like drop this on turn 3, and then on turn 4 you drop the what is it called? Is it the Ryuze Go? You drop the one that can deal 1 damage to one of your units, and you draw and then discard, and then you attack with this, and then you draw another card. I think it's quite good, and I think it's actually maybe underrated by some, maybe appropriately rated by others. I don't think it's like the best, but I think this is quite good, and I think this is one of the cards that gives you so much value in the early game and doesn't really ask for much in return, especially when you're playing it in a deck where it already synergizes with it. Once again, level 3, not a level 5, 4, level 3. And you got to compare it to other level 3 cards. Yeah. Next up, we have the Gundam Mark II Aeug. Now, if I made this list like a week ago, I probably wouldn't have put this card on there. But since I've been playing a bunch with all of these archetypes, you might have seen, once again, the videos that we put out. We did the 6 deck video and then the 4 deck video. The Aeug deck was in the 4 deck video. And this is just way better than it looks. And I think it looks okay to begin with. So it's a level 4 3 cost, 3/4. It's Aeug and has Aeug trait. And on deploy, if a friendly white base is in play, you may pair one Aeug pilot card from your hand without to the unit. So you don't pay the cost to do that. And this also ignores level restriction. So you can pair something like your Quattro Bagina, but you could also pair something like my next card. I'm gonna kind of swap between these two, and that's Camille Badon. I think these two together is one of the best like turn 4 plays in terms of stats in the entire game. It is actually kind of cracked when you realize that you're dropping a 6/6 that can attack immediately on turn 4 for just 3 resources. So what does Camille do? It's very simple. Level 5, 1 cost, 1/2 pilot. But if there's a friendly white base in play, it gets an additional +2, so it gets +3/+2. And obviously, if you're doing this effect, you already have a white base in play, so this gives +3/+2, so that makes this a 6/6. So that makes this a 3 cost, because you don't have to pay for the pilot when you do the effect. A 3 cost, 6/6 that can attack immediately on turn 4. That even leaves you with an extra resource available, which you could use to play a base. So if you have a base in hand, whatever it may be, you may like an Argama or like Archangel or something like that, you can play that and then play this and then play this. It's like this nice crazy tempo wombo combo only on turn 4. So if the Aeug deck is going to be good at all, and I think it's pretty solid right now, I think it's going to be because of this kind of interaction. And yeah, it's sweet. And once again, gives me an excuse to put some rares on here that aren't just LRs. So good stuff. Like quite good, actually. If you're looking for like budget stuff, I feel like this might be like a amazing budget pick, because they're just rares and you 6/6 that can attack immediately on turn 4. It's crazy. All right, next up we have Laughter Franklin. She's one of my favorite characters in IBO. I really like Laughter. I'm not going to say much more about the character. You should watch the show to find out. But she's a level 4, 1 cost, 2/1. And I think she's just a super efficient, absolutely fantastic pilot that if you are playing purple at all, you might want to consider running her in your deck, because she is the epitome of like a non-parasitic pilot, because she is a Teiwaz trait, right? So she can link up with Teiwaz, but her effect doesn't really care about anything other than you having a damaged level 5 or lower unit. So on attack, if this unit is damaged and level 5 or lower, it gains high maneuver for the battle, which means it can't be blocked. So this is a fantastic way to give high maneuver to just anything that's level 5 or lower. You can do a thing where you like, maybe your opponent attacked into it, maybe they did some damage to it, and you just slap Laughter on and then smash on in. Maybe you're running this in a heavy purple deck where you have a lot of the self-damaging stuff, and it's good because of that. But you can also play this in a deck that doesn't have that kind of stuff and still get this effect. I think she's really good. Maybe not a 4 of pilot, but maybe a 4 of pilot, maybe like a 2 to 4 of, but man, just giving high maneuver to anything is undoubtedly incredibly powerful. And I think this is going to be one of those pilots that you always keep in mind. If you're going to be playing purple, you're like, do I want to run Laughter? Do I need more, finishers to get the high maneuver? And if there's a lot of blockers in the game, in the meta, Laughter's your girl. Next up, we have Beneath the Mask. This is another just uncommon card. I really like that they're doing more level 1 cards. So this is a level 1, 1 cost command. Has main and action. You choose 1 to 2 enemy units that are level 2 or lower and you rest them. I think this card is fantastic, and I think this is just really good for 2 things. You can play this in either an aggressive deck, or you can play this in a defensive deck, right? And I think it's pretty good on both fronts. In an aggressive deck, you play this on your turn to rest their units, and then you can attack into them, right? And then trade into them. Or, if they have Zawarts, for example, or other small blockers, you can rest the blockers and attack past them. On the other side, if you're playing this defensively, I think also think it's quite good. So the best case scenario here is if your opponent has 3 units on the field that can attack, and they attack with the first unit. Then you, on your action phase, or when you have action timing available, you play this and then you rest the other 2 units, right? Because the first one's already attacking, you can't rest that one. You rest the other 2 units, and now you almost blanked their entire turn, right? Imagine these are all like, you know, 2/2 Gem, Zaku, or something like that. They attack with the Zaku, and then you rest their other 2 dudes, and then their turn is over. And they blew up your base, but you can replace your base immediately. I think this is fantastic. And this is one of the cards where if like Gundam had a sideboard, I think you'd put this like in every blue deck sideboard. As it stands, I'm still running this in a lot of my blue decks. I just think it's really, really good. Also, the art's awesome. Next up, we have another blue card. We have Dramatic Turnabout. This one has been a favorite of mine since I've started playing it. I've been swapping it in instead of Show of Resolve, but only in decks where it makes sense. I don't think you should put this in every deck over Show of Resolve. It's a level 5 2 cost command, burst, draw a card. We like drawing cards on burst. And then main, you choose a friendly damage unit and recover HP, or 2 HP, and then you draw a card. I mean, obviously this is really, really good with anything where you want to just maintain board control, but it synergizes even well with some of the stuff we'll talk about later, spoilers, stuff like for Murasame, who, when she heals, if you have 4 or less cards in your hand, you get a draw card. So this is like a slam dunk on any deck that runs for Murasame, because you can heal 2 on 4, and then this turns that into a heal 2, draw 2 for 2. That's really good. That's really good. Compare that to like the 3-drop Show Resolve. Yeah, it's a little bit better. This also has burst as well. So I like this card a lot. I think this will see a lot of play. I'm playing this in a lot of blue decks. I like this in even like my blue-white blue deck that I'm running the Epion in. I don't run 4 in that deck, but I have a lot of blockers, and I have a lot of I just want to maintain control. And once you even drop the Epion can do some attacks, and you kind of want to heal it up. I don't know. I think this card just works really, really well. It's a really solid card. Obviously, this level 5 is the big downside, but it's still pretty good. I like it a lot. Ooh, okay. Awakened Power. Now we're getting into cards that I like shoehorn into everything. If I have any open slot and I can fit purple in the deck, I'm putting this card in the deck. This card is so good. It actually might be less good than I think it is, but I love it so much that I just find myself just putting this in every deck, because I'm just like, unless it's a full-on aggro deck, mind you. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This card is really good in mid-range and control decks. It's really not good in aggro decks. Why? Level 6, 2 cost. Main, you choose 1 unit card that's 5 or lower in your trash, and you pay its cost to deploy it. The way I think about this card is when you draw this, you drew your best level 5 or lower unit that you have played. That's literally what it is, right? Because if it's already destroyed, you can immediately play it. Well, what are good level 5 targets? I don't know, like the Kshatriya. That's pretty good. There's a ton of others, like the Hyakushiki is quite good. There's a lot of decks that just run 5 or lowers. So I find myself shoehorning this into a lot of decks, usually as a 2 of. Sometimes I did go up to 3 in one deck. But yeah, I think this card's fantastic, and I put it in all my decks. This is one of the ones that I really want to get the alt arts for, because I'm going to be playing with it a lot. And like I said, in aggro decks, it's probably not great in aggro decks because it's really, really slow. But maybe, like even then, maybe because like maybe you just really want to get back your best unit. I don't know. It's really good. It's really, really good. Because like, once again, the Kshatriya, right? This is cost 2. You can. On level 6, you can just get that back, man. Just get it back. And if you have an extra resource, like an EX resource or something, maybe you're level 7, you can slap your pilot on there too. Slap your Marita Cruise on there too. All right, now we're gonna get to the last 4. These should be pretty obvious if you watch the channel and if you heard me talk about my favorite decks. So we're just gonna get to it. We have for Murasame, one of my favorite pilots in the game at this point. I think she is crazy good. Level 5, 1 cost, 2/1. During Link, once per turn, during your turn, when this unit recovers HP, if you have 4 or less cards in your hand, you draw a card. I love drawing cards. And she just kind of works really, really well in these kind of archetypes that I really like, because she's also a cyber new type, which happens to link with some of my favorite stuff in the game and do have really good pairs with stuff like, once again, the Kshatriya. So I really like for Murasame. I really like just the art here on the rare version. If you watch the alt art review, I don't like her alt art quite as much. I'm hoping we get a really, really nice like promo or something. But I play her so much. I'm going to be building her so much in paper that I might just splurge and get the alt arts as well. But she's really good. I like her a lot. And she goes so well with her signature Psycho Gundam. Psycho Gundam absolutely rules. When I first saw this card, I knew I'd like it. And turns out I really like it. I love this card. Level 6 4 costs 4/5, breach 3. During pair with any cyber new type pilot, when one of your Titan's units, including itself, destroys an enemy shield area card with battle damage, including breach, this unit recovers 2 HP. Hey, look, who likes recovering HP at 4? So, yeah, it's just kind of like this nasty mid to late game engine. You have this 6/6 breach, smash one of their dudes, heal yourself up, draw a card. Like, it's everything I want in like a mid-range style card. And if you couldn't tell, I really love mid-range decks. So yeah, easily my second favorite pairing in Gundam Set 2 Dual Impact. My actual favorite pairing, this no surprise to anyone, we have Haman Karn, my Xeon Empress. She's level 5 1 cost 2/1. When paired, if the unit is red, hey look, I like red cards. Choose one enemy unit whose level is equal to or lower than this unit and deal 1 damage to it. Excellent. Not quite as repetitive as Marita Cruz, because this is just when you do the pair, but still really excellent, and you get that immediately, which is awesome. And I love that it just does it with any red unit. She's also Neo Xeon and a new type, so both pretty relevant types, especially the new type. Works really, really well in a shell that has a bunch of stuff I care about, Neo Xeon and new types. Both of these cards, both for Murasame and Haman Karn, are literally in my new favorite deck that I've been playing, which is my my blue Neo Xeon deck, or I'm calling it Neo Xeon Blue, where I run Haman Karn, I run for Murasame, and I run Marita Cruz. There's a lot of mid-rangey and then direct damagey kind of stuff. We have Psycho Gundam, and then we also have the Cubile. So the Cubile is awesome. This is Kshatriya, I think, is still my favorite unit. This is close. This is really close. So this is a level 7 5 cost 5/5. Pretty good stats here. And then when it links with Haman Karn, it's a Neo Xeon type. When you link it, it gains suppression during the turn, which means it does double damage to shields, but not bases. Great. This is an awesome way to close up the game if you're playing like a control or a mid-range deck. Exactly what I want. And then also, during pair with any Neo Xeon pilot, on attack, you choose 1 damage enemy unit and you deal 2 damage to it. Excellent. Obviously works really well with Haman Karn herself, because Haman can like shoot something for 1, and the Cubile can shoot another thing for 2. So it's everything. It's everything that I want. It's everything that I want. Just more of this kind of stuff. More of this direct damage, awesome mid-rangey value stuff. The fact that this also has suppression is just kind of crazy good. Being able to do a turn where you drop Cubile and Haman Karn on the same turn and just smash them, blow up 2 of their shields, and then smash in with a little Zaku or something. It's great. And yeah, this is my favorite card of the set. Easy. Yeah, I would like to know what your favorite cards. Let's go ahead and go back to me, by the way. Hello. So, as we close out the video, let me know what your most wanted cards are of the Gundam card game Set 2 Dual Impact. Like I said, this is from a non-aesthetic. Well, I mean, there's some aesthetics in here. I really like Haman Karn. I really like the Cubile. I really like 4. Obviously, the Epion is a favorite. But these are mostly from like what I want to play with. These are the cards I want to open and play with in decks. I would like to know what your choices are. What are your picks here? There's some pretty obvious ones that I didn't choose that I think a lot of other folks would have chosen. Like there's like the Zeta Gundam. There's all of the Green Age stuff. There's even more than that. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your personal picks are. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting the Gundam card game content. It's been awesome, and yeah, honestly, I think it might be the single best performing TCG that I've ever covered on the channel, which is kind of wild considering I've been doing this for 9 years. 10 years will be next year will be our 10-year anniversary. But anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for a lot more Gundam card game content here on Red Zone Rogue. I have my booster boxes. I have the GQ starter decks hopefully arriving very, very soon. Hopefully today, the time of this posting, but we'll see. And yeah, got a lot more stuff in the pipeline. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.